Hello and welcome to another update video about GALA. GALA made that new low after it broke out of this bear flag to the downside. It now, even though there was a bit of a possible bear flag forming down here as well, it actually broke out of this wedge pattern that we talked about in, I think it was yesterday's video, to the upside. Such a wedge pattern is generally, you could call it a bullish pattern, a bullish reversal pattern, which eventually the price should break out to the upside of. It has broken out, but so far the price action is not too convincing for me yet. Yeah, I would have liked to see it come down a little lower in this possible wave 2, yeah, to the downside, and it didn't do that. Yeah, but what we saw already, I think in the last video we talked about that, was we saw the bullish divergences on the different time frames here between this low and this low. Something that often happens towards the end of a, let's say, of a rally or of a drop. In this case, we saw that, not a bearish divergence, bullish divergence here, where we made a higher low on the relative strength index, for example, on various time frames, on the MACD as well, but we made lower lows on the price charts. Whenever you see that, you need to be aware that things could be turning around, but we talk about that we talk about that quite frequently. And then, in addition to that, we had this descending wedge and the trend line was broken. I think just after my last video, we moved up. We retested previous resistance as support, and it's now showing some green waves. Now, we haven't really taken out a previous high yet. So to get further clarity that the downward move is finished and that we are rallying now to the upside, we would need a break above 4.6 cents, the previous wave 4 high. And then what we need to see is this actually already a third wave, which at the moment I have difficulties to believe. Yeah, if it's a third wave, I mean, again, we counted this here as a wave 1, and at the moment we have enough waves in place, as you know, to complete an ABC correction to the downside. So the question is, if wave 1 was in, is this here really a wave 2, or is it, and that's what we talk about on the ADA chart as well and so on, or is it only the A wave of the wave 2? So basically that this corrective pattern ABC completed only the A wave. We're now going to move up in 3 waves in a B wave, and we would then come down in a C wave, made eventually a higher low in wave 2. Because reasons to assume that, at least, or at least to have it on the radar, is that we have a corrective pattern complete. So the pattern is complete, but for a wave 2, you would normally expect a little bit lower retracement, a little bit more of a retracement, yeah. I mean, eventually, if you measure the whole advance of the lows, you see that we really only retrace, I mean, we didn't even touch the 50% retracement. It's okay for a wave 2, yeah, it's sort of far enough, but if we now rally in a third wave, I mean, it would really take it to 10 cents and below, right? Which would be very bullish. So I think we still need to have it on the radar that this could only be a B wave from a risk management point of view. If you entered in the target or support area down there, yeah, then you're in profit anyway, and if it now rallies a little bit more, you can always move up your stop loss. That's why we have these pullback support areas. Now, it didn't touch the actual target line that we had defined here. But, you know, what I always mention is these support areas, they are the turnaround spaces. But the more accurate target was missed by 0.1 of a cent or whatever, yeah. But we had 5 waves down and we broke out of the wedge. So I don't know, some people might have entered, some didn't. What I normally do when my targets aren't reached, I don't enter. We had other coins that reach targets, so I'd rather, you know, focus on the ones that actually do what I want, because that otherwise the risk is just too high. But if you did enter here somewhere in the support area, in the turnaround space, the turning space, then by all means, maybe let it run a little longer and then move up your stop loss, just to be protected from the risk that the move up could just be a B wave. Okay, and that would happen in 5 waves, in 3 waves as well. So eventually the B wave in itself would be a 3-wave pattern, ABC, and the A wave could be an impulse, then we will get a B wave down, which would provide another entry point most likely, and then you could trade the C wave if you like to. The difficulty is here that if we count this as an ABC correction, yeah, then the B wave will be very strong most likely. So you will, we are probably going to face a so-called zigzag pattern here. No, a so-called flat pattern, which would normally retrace into the region between, yeah, the 78.6 fib and the 1.38 extension, actually, retracement. So we're looking at something like this as an area, which is quite large, which is why it's so difficult typically to trade B waves. Yeah? So we need to have that in mind. So anybody who entered, who chose to enter, or still chooses to enter, that's entirely up to you. You might want to keep in mind that we might enter B wave resistance up here, and we will get some clarity along the way, you know, what pattern it might be, and then I will keep you updated anyway about it. But be aware, this is going to be resistance, and you can even get a B wave that will overshoot the previous wave one. Yeah, that's sort of, but let's say the highest likelihood area will be here between 5.8 cents and 6.3, and maybe we won't even get there, but then we will probably pick that up along the way if we see any exhaustion in the pattern or so. Yeah, that's where we are with GALA at the moment. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.